I also run this group in Dubai called the Man Cave Project, which is all about providing a safe space for men to be men, giving men a space to speak up, share what's happening in their lives, and I guess encourage men to talk. I joined like a men's circle 6 years ago when I went through my really dark time. Got kicked out of the family home. Ex-girlfriend found out that I cheated on her, and it was just a lot going on at once. And I think at that point I realized that, man, I'm the problem. It's me. Like, I need to fix up. I need to sort myself out.
One of the big green flags a lot of women are looking for right now when it comes to dating a man is that they're emotionally intelligent. So now that you've just thrown yourself in there, what's an emotionally intelligent man?
An emotionally intelligent man is
I'm going to ask you now, and if you don't want to talk about it, that's totally fine. You mentioned cheating in the past that you've done, and I don't want to use you as an example, but
Use me as an example.
Why did you cheat?
So, men are always on edge. And a man that is just sure of himself and confident, which is developed over a long period of time, obviously feels very different. One of the biggest things that I think men are, and women are afraid of is change.
That fear of possible success and what that might look like.
If you're miserable, change something. You have the key to your own destiny. You have the ability to make any choice you want.
Welcome everyone to another episode of the Unfiltered podcast, where we take the eye out of unfiltered and put the emphasis directly on you. This is the one platform where we get to take down our filters and have raw, authentic and vulnerable conversations in regards to the challenges that we're all facing today. Now, if you're a fan of the unfiltered nature of this podcast and you want more of these conversations that I have on the show to be normalized, why don't you help me help you? To get more guests on and to have those difficult conversations in regards to the challenges we're all facing, I have to know what it is that you specifically want us to speak about. So if it isn't too much to ask, why don't you hit that subscribe button right now? And at the end of the episode, if it's been a hit for you, why don't you leave a thumbs up and leave a cheeky review in regards to what specifically resonates with you. Now, with that all being said and done, let's get straight back into the episode. Yeah. Anyway, Adil, how's it going?
Good, man. Thank you for having me here.
Now, thank you for coming through. I'm glad we're able to free up some time. For people who don't know you, let's have a little quick introduction in regards to who you are, what you're doing.
Right, so my name is Adil. I am a men's coach. So I like to work with men on being honest, being men of integrity. But I also run this group in Dubai called the Man Cave Project, which is all about providing a safe space for men to be men, emotionally intelligent men, and giving men a space to speak up, share what's happening in their lives, and I guess encourage men to talk. You know, so right now we're building a really big movement. It's been like 4 years now, almost 5 years of building this movement, and we do things like we run this thing called the Man Cave, which is every Tuesday, and we just get men to talk, get things off their chest, connect, and people are becoming friends out of it. But then we also run other things around like fitness and also like workshops, networking events, and everything. So really, I just want to help guys. You know,
What is it that these you mentioned men who are emotionally intelligent? One of the big green flags a lot of women are looking for right now when it comes to dating a man is that they're emotionally intelligent. So now that you've just thrown yourself in there, what's an emotionally intelligent man?
an emotionally intelligent man is a man that has an intelligence about his emotions.
Okay.
So he's aware of what he's feeling, what he's going through. It's not just someone that reacts and then that's how I am. That's just what I'm like. You should know me by now, whatever it might be. And I think about the men that I'm coaching, or men in my community, or even think about myself and how I would snap at, like, say, my partner or something, and then just try and say sorry. But if I can say sorry, you know what? I've been going through a lot lately. I'm really stressed because of this, and this. I didn't react in my best way. I should have responded differently. But this is why I'm feeling the way that I am. Like, please accept my apology, and this is what I'm going to try and do to kind of work on this and need to find a better way of regulating my emotions. That apology is better than, I'm really sorry I snapped at you.
Yeah, being able to lock in regards to why and taking ownership of your actions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Understanding why, kind of correct, and working on correcting it. So emotional intelligence is about really just having that awareness.
Fair. No, I like it. I'm a fan. Bit more about the Man Cave. You said you started that 4 years ago. What was like the real reason to getting that up and running?
Bro, I needed the Man Cave.
Here we go.
I joined like a men's circle 6 years ago when I went through my like really dark time. Like, got kicked out of the family home. Ex-girlfriend found out that I cheated on her, and it was just a lot going on at once. And I think at that point I realized that, man, I'm the problem. It's me. Like, I need to fix up. I need to sort myself out. At 31 years old, I was doing all right with like my job, my career. I was working for the British government, but I was a waster, man. I was just living for the weekends. I cheated on every girlfriend, and it wasn't like sexually cheating or anything like this. It was more a case of I always wanted attention. And so there was a part of my soul, this dark part of me that just was never satisfied. And when all this kind of came out with the ex and the thing with family, with home and getting kicked out, I thought, you know what, man, I need to do something about this. So I went and got some help, started working with a men's coach, spoke to a Reiki healer who helped me understand some things about myself and my patterns of behavior. But when I joined this men's circle, which was what my men's coach used to run, it was 8 men over 4 weeks. Every week would meet online during COVID. And it was the most confronting thing I've ever done. To bare your soul, speak your truth in front of 8 other guys where your coach is pushing you and like, tell me more, like, what is this? Where's that from? And you're like, ah, it was so frustrating, but it was so liberating. And before every call, it was 2 hours on a Wednesday evening, I was so nervous. I didn't want to be there. Because most of my life, I would confide in women. I wouldn't confide in men. You know, I was that guy. With all of my friends, I was the guy that would go and speak to their girlfriends. I was the one that I didn't watch football with the boys. I was sitting with their girlfriends, just chatting about life, and you know, I was always that person. Plus, I grew up with my mum and my sister, so I was able to already converse quite well with women. But I always rejected masculinity and like men around me.
Why is that?
I think my dad was a very strong alpha male, and I think that I found that intimidating. And so it's easier for me to be soft and to be softer. And I was very soft as a kid and teenager in my 20s. I'd say I was more effeminate than masculine.
Yeah.
And it was because it was safer, you know. And in women, I always got comfort and I got empathy and I had compassion. Whereas I knew that with men, I'd probably be held accountable. And I don't think I wanted that.
Yeah.
And that's me speaking as like someone that is aware now. But back then, I didn't know what it was. It's just men were confronting. You know, I didn't really feel like a very masculine man. But going for all this stuff and then seeing this men's circle, I was like, you know what? I wonder how many men are like me, where I don't think I'm like depressed or severely sad or going through that much of a hardship, but just an everyday guy in London, just going through life, who doesn't speak about his emotions, who doesn't know what's really going on. I wonder how many other guys I feel this way. Maybe we just need a men's circle for the everyday guy, because my coach was a bit more about the deep stuff. And I can go deep, and I do with my clients, but the everyday guy might not want to go there right now. But what's the basic way we can get men talking? I was like, well, you know, I'm going to start this myself. So I started this thing called Not Just a Man, and that was just to get men. We're not just a man. There's more to us. Let's talk. But it only really kicked off in Dubai when I started the Man Cave project to create a brotherhood.
Yeah.
And that's where it kicked off. And the whole thing is, I want the everyday guy, not the man that's already got full of tattoos and long hair, clearly, and like already quite deep and spiritual. It's just the guy that's just trying to be a good man, trying to just go to work, make some money, be successful, find a partner, all that kind of stuff. And that's who I'm attracting.
It doesn't necessarily have to be like an entrepreneur or something.
No. It's everyday guy, the guy in the office, the guy at the building site. The guy, it doesn't matter, because I know we're all going through the same thing. Every man's going through the same thing.
Yeah. I've discovered that with playing golf.
Yeah.
Literally every weekend, whether you're with your boys or with random strangers or members of the club, as soon as you break into a bit of conversation,
Right.
as soon as they let loose a little bit on something they've been holding on to, unreal. I was speaking to this one guy recently, in his 60s, bless him. And I won't get too much into the detail in regards to like his life, but I was asking him, I said, why don't you play more often? You've got ability here, man. He kicked my ass on the golf course. And I was like, you've got ability here. You should be playing more often. He says, I can only play once a week because I've got other commitments. And I says, what, like family commitments? And he says, yeah, I feel like I have to. And I says, whoever told you have to? Like, if you get enjoyment from this sport, if you like being out here, getting the fresh air, exercise, and literally working on yourself, why aren't you granting yourself permission to do more of this? And he thought about it for a while, and he was like, just feel like I can't. I've got to be there for my kids, got to be there for my wife, got to do all this other stuff. Family commitments take precedent over like what fills in with happiness and joy.
And you know what, man? Many women won't agree with this.
Yeah.
But a lot of men are thinking about everyone else but themselves.
Yeah.
And they're still seen as selfish. Some men are selfish, don't get me wrong. But often we have so many thoughts going through our head about the things that we need to be doing to protect and provide those around us. We might not always know the best way of doing it, but that's often what consumes us. Is, you know, I've got to look after mum and dad. I've got to think about this. How can I retire them? Or, you know, my wife and kids. Like, I've got to make sure I'm around, and I can't use my time. I can't give up my time. For myself, I have to be there for everyone else, and that can be quite challenging and tough for a man. Who maybe does want to see his boys a bit more often, or wants a bit. It's that oh, you're a family man now. This is you have to give this up. No amount of men that I see that they give up on themselves and
Yeah.
they don't have friends. So many adult men don't have friends.
Yeah, they don't. They struggle.
Yeah.
And then nowadays, when they get a little bit older and they can have a little bit of freedom, the first thing they're doing is they're going to the pub
Yeah.
to hanging out with a bunch of boys, and they're not talking about stuff. It's just company.
Yeah.
And it's like, imagine if you could,
Yeah.
and felt like you could, and you were around the other person who feels the exact same way and going for the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Change the game. It would change the game.
I think I used to try and talk to my friends when I was younger, like while we were in the pub, and it was always met with, "Ah, shut up, have another drink."
Yeah.
And I think that's quite common, right? We live through banter and
Yeah.
everything. But whenever I'd get them one on one, it'd be a different story.
It's so weird you say that, because like literally, as soon as you catch someone one on one in a conversation, open up ever so slightly, or they'll go deep into their feelings in regards to how they feel about this relationship or that individual, etc. But in the group setting, everyone has to be a lad.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's something I am gonna want to like. I'm gonna ask you now, and if you don't want to talk about it, that's totally fine. We can always I can just edit it back out. You mentioned cheating in the past is something you've done, and I didn't anticipate this, but it was just something I felt that's quite relevant, especially based on the ladies I speak to who have been cheated on. Why? I don't want to use you as an example, but
Use
why
me
did
as an
you,
example.
why did you cheat?
So, at the time, I just thought that was who I was. You know, like it's okay. It's harmless. I'm just maybe talking to someone else or getting with a girl in a club. Or it didn't feel that wrong. I knew it was wrong, but didn't feel like the worst thing. Especially because I wasn't like sleeping with anyone or anything like this. It was attention. It was validation. I wanted to feel liked, loved, and I only was able to kind of piece together all the things and understand that, as cliche as it sounds, it came from the lack of love or what I perceived to be the lack of love from my family growing up when I was younger. And they loved me, of course they loved me, but it was the perception that mum wasn't around because she was working. I didn't get that feminine nurture and feminine care and attention. Plus, when I was growing up, I wasn't the most desirable. I wasn't the best looking. I was chubby. I lacked confidence, super shy, didn't get attention from girls. My best friend was some 6 foot gorgeous black guy. My brother is also a beautiful, tall, good looking guy. Whenever I'll be out with them, they got the attention. You know, so there was a severe gap between what I wanted and what I got. And then when things changed for me when I got older, and I did become someone that was desired by women, for example, I think I just loved it.
Yeah.
And it just filled that gap. And obviously it just becomes a perpetuating cycle. Now, also fast forward now when I'm in relationship, because at the same time I love relationships. I love being with one person at the same time, which just feels like, what? How?
Yeah.
And bro, it's hard to even explain it. But I love love. I love relationships. I love being that one guy for someone else. But there was something keep pulling me to the other side. And I also recognize that when you're with that one person, you become quite normal to them after a while. And then the other things come up, like you bicker, you fight, and then you argue about the small things. And then it's hard to be seen as the guy.
Do you feel less loved when those bickering and arguments?
Yeah, of course. I definitely feel less loved, but I also feel less like a man. So I don't feel as masculine. And then so what happens when I'm outside and I'm meeting people and they see me as this strapping, like built, like good looking guy, that I'm instantly seen as the masculine.
Yeah.
They're softer and they're feminine, you know, and can be more kind of nurturing or more careful or more feminine in nature with me. And so that becomes attractive. Masculine, feminine, when the opposites are there, opposites attract.
Yeah.
But when your partner is nagging at you and saying certain things, then they become more masculine. That doesn't feel quite right, so you clash.
Yeah.
And that's why we clash, and that's why a lot of relationships break down, because that polarity changes.
Well, that's what I try and tell a lot of my clients when they have been cheated on. It's nothing to do with you. You're not unworthy. It's more of a case of they had things that they were going through where maybe they lacked a lot of self-love or something within their parents' relationships, or something has triggered them to want to, in other terms, self-sabotage what they've got going on right now.
Yo, don't get it twisted, bro. Like, women are just as responsible for men cheating as and not all the time. Sometimes men are just like, you know, for my situation, it was my fault.
Yeah.
100%. For that time with that woman in particular, it was all me. But I've seen examples. I've worked with hundreds of men where I'm not condoning cheating at all, but I can see where and why the polarity changes and why the man is just like more open to looking elsewhere where maybe they would not have considered it before. And women and men need to take responsibility for their actions and behaviors, and not just like, I know a man that's not had sex with his partner for 18 months 18 months, and he's stuck in this marriage, and he's just like, I can't go out of it. We can't deal with it. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want. Nothing wants to happen. What am I supposed to do? And then if he did go out, he'd be seen as the bad guy, you know. But he has needs. He's got wants. He still finds her attractive. He still wants to, you know. Of course, there's many scenarios and many reasons why that relationship
100%,
is being affected. But still,
what are you saying to women though who have been cheated on, who are hurt right now, and it's just more of like a, from your perspective, obviously you've been in that scenario yourself. What are you reminding those individuals right now who are going to listen to this and probably say, yo, I fucking hate myself, or I'm the problem, and keep beating themselves up for it?
look, from a logical point of view, I would say look at where you contributed, but you have to let this self-love overflow and know that, you know what, there's always a reason for everything. Take responsibility for what you can control. The things that you can't, you have to just accept that you can't control them, and know that unfortunately this is a part of life, and things like this do happen. Try your best that if a man has cheated on you, to really take a step back from the situation and look at it from like a bird's eye view of the relationship and of him and his behavior, and know that you don't have to settle for anything. You don't. A lot of women I know keep going back to the same guy because there's some serious like attachment that's gone on here, and it becomes quite toxic, and it becomes like a vicious cycle in a way. I'm working with some girls right now as well, and it's like, observe behavior.
Yeah.
You know, be willing to be heartbroken for a little bit and at least be free. You know, stop listening to his words and observe his actions over time.
Yeah.
I used to use all the words, man. My ability to get out of situations and gaslight and manipulate was so strong. It didn't feel like that at the time. I felt like I was just trying to win my woman back, you know, which a lot of us, I think, as men, if men are listening, can appreciate. And women listening can be like, yeah, I've heard it all before. And then he does it again.
Yeah, that's the same story. It happens. No, I appreciate you sharing that, man. I didn't anticipate going into that convo, but I felt like it is very, very relevant for a lot of people that are going through it. So thank you. All right. Going back into the man cave and going back in regards to like the challenges that men are going through right now, what do men really wish women knew, but they're not saying out loud?
Yeah, so that kind of what I mentioned earlier. Like, there's so much going through a man's head. He's thinking of so many ways that he needs to just level up, and it feels like the love he receives is conditional. That if I don't continue to do what I need to do, I'm gonna lose her, or I'm gonna lose this. You know, everything hangs by a thread. If he loses his job, like, and again, I've seen it. I think I see a lot of men that just are frustrated at life, at themselves. Like, when am I gonna catch a break? Like, what if there's someone else that comes in and is better than me? And, you know,
Always on edge.
Always on edge. Men are always on edge. And a man that is just sure of himself and confident, which is developed over a long period of time, obviously feels very different.
This is the thing. When I hear like some women say that they want a man who's like confident, backs himself, etc., all of that stuff, I try and reiterate that that man might be putting on a show right now because he feels like he has to, or he might be possibly holding some of these traits, but in reality, he's probably still feeling shit in regards to how he turns up versus his peers, or someone else in his family. And like, I know you want confidence, and I know you want him to back himself, be stable, etc., all of that stuff, right? But if he's shit scared, and because of the fact that he's still on edge, he's got things going on where he's worried about who's going to look after his mum if he has to move out, and or whether or not he's actually financially stable enough to give you the lifestyle you rightfully deserve. That creates a lot of pressure, which he possibly doesn't show.
Yeah, no, a man's pressure is real. He does carry a lot of stress and a lot of burden, and often he won't talk about it, right? So it compiles, and because men, just statistically over time, and as a big wide paintbrush of a demographic, don't speak about how they feel. This is where it can cause a problem. This is where we snap and we get angry. This is where we have heart attacks. This is where we use unhealthy coping mechanisms like drugs, alcohol, sex, porn, all these kind of things to make ourselves feel better and relieve the stress, but we're not dealing with the problem, you know? And it's hard because we feel like if we do open up with our partners, for example, that they're going to see us as less than a man. And it happens. It does happen. For the women listening, they might think that, no, if my partner told me how he really felt, I'll be fine. I'll be happy. You might think that, but there is a potential that on a subconscious, energy, body, feeling level, you might suddenly feel like, wait a second, this man that I thought was my rock is struggling.
Yeah.
And you might start panicking. You might start behaving differently because you now suddenly feel unsafe and insecure about your place in this relationship, and you got to move yourself into your masculine so that you can make sure everything's going to be okay. And you might not even realize how that polarity between you, both of you changes. And he goes into his feminine, starts being maybe a bit too soft, or not be able to take the lead or make decisions, and you start picking up the slack. Before you know it, you're leading the relationship. And that might not be what you want, because you want to be the princess, and you want to be feminine, and you want to be in your flow and all this kind of stuff. And now, before you know it, you're finding Dave at work attractive because he's the one that's taking you out for lunch and complimenting you and stuff. And
don't you think there's a challenge there though, in regards to like the man might be in that situation requiring you to take the lead, but in that dynamic, you have the ability to switch the game in regards to allowing him to then still take the lead, regardless to how emotional or how weak he's feeling right now.
women need to just trust that he's got to do what he's got to do.
Yeah.
But I also see both sides. So I've seen when women have to like pick up the slack. I get it. It's cool. But a good woman can nurture and push a man back into his power. And that is the part that we're not taught. We're not taught. And men can easily fall into the trap of comfort zone, lazy, you know what, she'll handle it. And women can say, you know what, I do it better. Like, I haven't got time to be dealing with this stuff right now. I'll just deal with it. And just that lack of trust just breeds just contempt over time.
So are we then saying that men right now are not necessarily ready for the type of women we have today? The successful...
Why would they want that?
Because if I try and wheel it back a number of years in regards to like generations, it was a different story in regards to the role of a man and the role of a woman. And now times have changed. And I say it enough, and we hear it in regards to like how the power of feminism and like equality and women being very, very successful in their own right. If the man still feels he needs to uphold the role of his dad, his granddad, and everyone else before him, despite the fact that he's not seen in the same light of success versus what these women are doing right now, he's going to feel like shit nonetheless.
Yeah.
And I think there's like a paradigm, there's something there which can just easily be switched on, where you let him know he's not a problem regardless to what he's doing or what he's trying to do and achieve.
You can say that as much as you want, but he'll feel it and you'll feel it. So this is the tough one. Like, if I think about it, a successful man can maybe, fall in love with a waitress and completely affect and change your entire life. And it's almost seem like, okay, this works. A successful woman isn't going to go for a waiter.
I have this argument. I say it all the time.
So this is not something that they find attractive, because women want someone typically that is doing better than them, that is more successful than them. But if we're in a world where women are becoming more and more driven, more and more ambitious, more and more successful, financially they're doing really, really well, it's getting harder and harder for a smaller and smaller percentage of men globally to keep up. And there is a huge gap now, a vacuum even, for where do men fit in? What is their role now? What do they need? And we're in a world where it's the phrase of, we don't need a man. I could do it on my own. It's like, great, okay, cool, that's what you want, then fine. So where do we fit in? So then you got this whole like passport bro situation where men are going abroad now, finding women from different countries who still want that kind of man.
Yeah.
So when I speak to my women, I'm like, okay, what do you want? If you want a man that's successful or same as you, if he doesn't earn the same amount as you, then it's a problem.
Yeah.
But then the polarity changes, that dynamic in the household. If you're comfortable with a man earning less than you, can you still give him that respect?
Yeah, just let him be a man still.
Yeah.
Can you let him still lead?
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a fundamental issue there that needs to be spoken more louder about. And I feel like sometimes it doesn't land as well. I used to be that guy.
Which guy?
The guy that would possibly not swipe right to a girl on Hinge or Bumble, whatever it was, because it said doctor or lawyer.
Yeah.
Because in my head, I felt, bro, I'm a finance bro. You're not going to want to deal with someone like me. You're not going to want to chat to me. You're earning cakes right now. I chose this path. You chose that path. Why'd you ever want to speak to me? And this is something I told myself over and over again, especially when I was a coach before that. When I first started coaching, I think I've spoken about it before. As soon as people ask, so what are you doing right now? I'm like, yeah, so I'm self-employed, starting up coaching. Oh, And in my head, I just felt, fuck, shit,
There is
I'm
a
getting
judgment.
judged already.
There's a judgment. There is a judgment. Because again, what they're thinking about, long-term success,
Yeah.
security, foundations, family, like their brain's going into a whole different, they're thinking many different things. You know, we're thinking the same, but that insecurity comes from a place. So you already might have been feeling that way as well, because you think maybe I'm not a secure catch right now. Maybe I'm not a sure thing. Maybe I'm, maybe there is something there about it. But I do see that in the wider narrative, people aren't willing to build together.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's diminishing now. That culture of, like, I don't speak to many guys that especially the young ones, I'm like, looking forward to being a dad, looking forward to being a husband.
Yeah.
I don't hear it anymore. Now I just hear, I want to be YouTube famous, or I want to be a millionaire.
Yeah.
I want to be making like 6K a month. Oh, sorry, like 6 digits a month. Like this is what I hear now. And women are the same. They want to just make that money. I'm not hearing that people want to be wives, or men want to be husbands. I'm not hearing that.
I'm the same. I'm the same. I've been asked a question like, do you want a family? Do you want kids? And this, that, and that. And I'm like, if I'm being completely honest with you, I'm shit scared of being a dad.
Yeah, that's different. That's different to wanting it.
Do I know if I want it or not, though? I still feel young at heart. I kind of want to do things with a partner, go travel, experience, build a business and all of that jazz, and see what that life could look like. And don't get me wrong, I'd love to bring kids into the world and do all of the fatherly stuff, but I love being an uncle. And when I look at how I look after my niece and nephew, whenever I get to spend time with them, it's a 1 hour job and then, goodbye. I can't be dealing with that long term.
You know, something that separates like boys from men is responsibility.
Yeah.
And knowing now that I'm married, I'm obviously married Mario last month. I didn't realize how much it would change me just having a ring on my finger. Because I've been working towards just developing this kind of masculinity, feeling more like a man, all of this stuff. But when we went through the whole ceremony and we got married, like I literally feel like, okay, now I have a different sense of responsibility. I do have someone to care about and take care of. But even though we were together in a relationship, like it's different. And for as long as a man has no responsibility, he will forever be a boy. We need it. This Peter Pan syndrome exists. Dubai, where I live now, is the land of lost boys. I call it the city of lost boys because you can go there and never grow up. Everything you want is always there. Anything you want, it is fast, And men do go there for all kinds of debauchery and all this stuff because it's readily available. But you can also elevate and create something beautiful for your life also in that same city. So everything is about intention. What is it you want? What are you going for? What do you want from your life? And the reason why one man might go to Dubai and start a business, one man might go to Dubai and ruin his life, it's just intention and purpose and what you want. So if you did have some kind of like, you know what, I do want to be a father one day, you would change the course of your action today.
Yeah.
But if you don't know what you're doing or where you're going, you're going to be drifting forever.
It's fair. It's fair.
Yeah.
I hear you. I don't know. I like how you've put that lost.
The city of lost boys, bro.
It's very, very interesting.
And globally, I look at the men are becoming more and more lost.
Yeah.
And they feel it. But when I do get men say to me, bro, I'm just so lost, man. I'm like, cool. If you're lost, it means you have a feeling of where you should be going.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? And I don't know. So how are you lost? So I can flip this on its head completely as well.
Yeah.
So
there is a checkpoint or a flag that they want to cross. There is something on this map of theirs right now, but they're in this space where they don't know where to turn, left, right, how to get there.
Yeah.
And they're scared.
And usually it's money related.
It's always, I think majority of the time it's always money related.
Yeah.
There's this, again, and it comes down to conditioning. There's this fascination of being able to provide and be a support. And I've said it to women a number of times. I'm like, the reason why he fucks around and the reason why he's not able to turn up, because he probably feels so insecure that he can't sustain a lifestyle to do what his dad did for his mum. Like, he can't provide that level of love and affection just yet because he doesn't feel quite ready. He doesn't know where to ask for help from. And so he's going to fuck around. That's his way out. It's
if only he realised that his dad didn't know either. Exactly.
But it's you need to be able to create a space, which you're possibly doing right now, to let them know.
Yeah.
This is what your dad was going through. Let's think about it.
Like last month, I remember I called my dad and I was like, Dad, I just want to just say, man, like, thank you. And he was like, what? I said, man, I'm 37 and I feel a lot of pressure. What I've got in my life, what I'm doing, what I'm building. I said, at 37, you're on your second marriage with your fourth kid, running a business. How? How? I said, I have so much more respect for you and what you've done, and even if you had your own weird and wonderful way of doing it, but just thank you, just for, just for being you. and for getting through all of that and doing it, because it must have been a lot. He shrugged it off, but I know that it would have resonated with him, and he would have sat with it like maybe a bit later. But it's crazy, man, to think like you're 31. When did your parents have you?
My dad had me when he was 30. My mum, no, did he? Yeah, my mum was in her early 20s.
Okay. Are you only child?
No, I got a sister as well.
Older or younger?
Younger.
All right, cool. So for either way, having a child at this age,
Yeah.
like you don't feel ready for a kid right now.
Hell no.
That's what I'm saying, bro. They did it.
Yeah.
My dad was on his second family, pretty much.
It's crazy how times have changed, but I think that's a good thing as well, because the only issue that comes up is with women right now is the body clock concept. And if you do want to start a family, like, and there is a time frame when you want to get that done, and if men aren't necessarily ready right now, that creates this whole different challenge in regards to finding.
Let's talk about that. Yeah,
go on.
So there are women listening now that are still technically like considered young, 20s.
Yeah.
Use this time to develop yourself as a woman, so that you become attractive to other men, not physically or not just physically, but someone that is ready for that marriage, so looking for and attracting only the right kind of man. Think about your behavior, where are you spending your time, who you spend time with, so that you're not going to like waste your 20s maybe partying, making stupid decisions, all that kind of stuff, and then you get to your 30s and you think, oh, now I need to settle down. But you just wasted your 20s. That is the time where, yes, live your life, but also be mindful about how am I being perceived by the outwardly. What kind of man am I attracting right now into my life? How is my behavior? Am I seen as someone that a man would want? What kind of woman am I going to be? What kind of wife am I going to be? Again, because we're not thinking about what kind of husband or wife we're going to be, we're making stupid mistakes and think that I'll deal with it later. Later is now. At 37, I feel so ready for marriage. I had to go through so much shit to kind of be where I am today, but I'm working with women in their 30s, mid 30s and whatever, and they are struggling. And they're like, I don't know what to do anymore. Like, oh, all men are like this, and I can't find the right man. I'm like, you've made a series of mistakes. You've entertained so many situationships.
100%.
You've told your body and your soul and the universe that I want this kind of man, the man that treats me like shit. And then you wonder why all men are trash when you've been letting it happen. Take responsibility for the woman that you become and stop blaming everyone else.
Yeah.
Yes, there are men out there that are not the right man, but cool, change your environment. You're not going to meet them on in a bar or something like this. Like, chance maybe, but chances are it's quite slim.
But that's what I said. Like, if you're swiping right consistently, the man you want to be with right now, are they on apps?
I was on an app, so I would never be I'm not an advocate of using apps at all. But, and be honest, when I did go home last year, and I went on the apps, I was looking for fun.
Exactly my point, right?
I was looking for fun. Mario was looking for love. I was looking for fun. But we connected, actually not to do anything fun. It was more so just because we thought we could do a podcast together or do some business together. Because, she's a coach. And that happened out naturally. But both of us are not advocates of this stuff.
Yeah.
Even she was like, oh, fine, let's just look. It wasn't like that was her method.
This is it. Well, I tell my clients, I'm like, if your ideal partner right now is so into their health and fitness, as an example, and they are doing running clubs, they're in the best gyms or whatever, they're really focused, where they shop and get their foods, etc.
Yeah.
You want to put yourself in those environments or be around that kind of space of people. Not necessarily swiping right to the guy who's available at 11 at night on whatever app and willing to just chat.
100% agree. I think that definitely look into the characteristics of the person that you want to attract, how these make you feel, and think about what might this person be doing with their life. Especially, one of the things I hear quite often is, I want an ambitious man. I'm like, cool, okay, what does ambitious mean? Because if I hear ambitious man, I'm like, he ain't making time for you.
Yeah, exactly this. I said, if you want someone right now who's ambitious, working hard, consistently all the time, and he's doing 70 hours, 80 hours a week, regardless of being self-employed or working for a company, where the fuck is he going to find the time to be a husband, boyfriend, whatever he is to you?
Yeah. So
he's too busy grinding.
Exactly. Clarify what it is that you really want and look at why. So one of the exercises I get my clients to do is called the 5 whys. What is the belief, trait, quality, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, that you want in this person? Right. It should be a long list. For each of those things, write down why that's important to you. And then for that why, write down the why that why is important for you until you get down to the real reason why that trait is important. And then you can see, right, maybe this is now, how do I judge this person against this why? How do I maybe see, how do they display that quality? You know? Because you might want a man that's, I don't know, like, yeah, ambitious. When you get down to the why, you're like, actually, wait, the reason why I want him to be ambitious, and this is a true story, was because I want him to be supportive of my dreams. I'm like, oh, okay. So you don't want an ambitious man, you want a supportive man. You know?
Exactly that. Exactly that. I've got something very similar where I'm like, what is it you're really looking for? Like, put the aesthetics aside. Why do you, if you are a very, very successful woman right now, you possibly want to be able to live your life with this level of success where your career is going, but you want someone to support and cheerlead that journey. You don't necessarily want someone to be doing the same thing or not make time for you. You want to be able to come home and be like, babe, I've had a hard day at work. I've got you. What you need? Dinner ready? I've got that. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm picking you up. What time? That kind of support, that kind of love. Now, that man doesn't necessarily have to be doing what you're doing. You could be up here and he's down here. Regardless, he's there for you, for what you want and you require. But you keep turning him down because of what his CV says.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
We've got to keep an open mind, you know. And I think social media is a big player in all of this, right?
Yeah.
We see how things should be, could be, what's desirable, people earning this much money, people flexing so hard. It's hard. I was actually thinking the other day, I was like, you know what, man? Everyone today is feeling like, I'm not doing good enough.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Men, women, children, everyone. Even kids. I speak to some Gen Zs or even some Gen Xs, whatever they're called now, and they all feel like they're not doing enough. And I'm like, bro, you're like 16, relax, go to school. You know? No, man, I should be making bank by now. I'm like, what are you talking about? Women are feeling like they don't look good enough, they're not healthy enough, they're not doing enough with their life, they're not making enough money, they're not supporting themselves, they're struggling, like, when am I gonna have kids? Like, when am I gonna get married? How do I do all these things and take care of my nails? Like, so many things that they have to go through.
One of my clients, we started working together. She's 23 when we started. She's 24 right now. Started a graduate scheme. And she's like, no, I need to get a property. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Do you know how much you're earning right now? You're not going to be able to, let alone get a mortgage. Where's this come from? Oh, no, I have to have things all sorted out. I'm like, yo, relax. Find whether you like your career first, because you might not like it within 6 months' time. Like, be cool.
What do you think is missing in society today?
I don't want to say people like us, but I feel like conversations like this to really allow people to recognize that it's okay to not be okay. And there are people out there who are going through similar challenges and they're talking about it loudly. And I want to be a part of that group versus trying to chase what everyone else is doing. You see your friend getting married, you're like, fuck, I need to get a boyfriend. Why? You just came out of something so toxic. You need to heal, babe. Relax.
Yeah.
You can't be jumping into that just yet. Like, they wanted a particular lifestyle. They wanted to have kids by a certain time. You are excelling with what you're doing right now. You've just changed career. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I think for me, presence is really missing. Just being here. You know, not looking there in the past and not looking in the future. Just being present with today and seeing what we can affect today and enjoy today. You know, seek enjoyment and joy rather than happiness and in that thing that's over there, you know? Because anxiety and fear lives in the past, in the future, and obviously depression, sadness, and like guilt and whatever shame lives in the past. But if we're just here today, it's very difficult to feel those things. And the other thing is like, man, fuck it, we're gonna die. None of this is actually gonna matter. Nothing matters. Yet everything matters at the same time. It's one of those weird kind of paradoxes that, you know, we want to do the most we can in our lives, but at the same time we're in a rush to do things. We're not enjoying it. And I was the same. I used to think the same. Like, oh, I got to go to university. I need to get a good job. I got to like buy a house. I want to get married by 24, have kids. But I'm 37 now. Like, none of those things happened like in this linear way. It was like up, down, all over the place. You know. I just want to be happy now. Now that I'm with like Mari, I feel this much love. Man, I'll be happy just me and her together, just humdrum, making, you know, maybe £10,000 a month between us, just easy.
In that gap between 31 when you've been told you got to leave until now, finding Maria in between that time, what would you say people in that age gap struggled with the most? Obviously, you've gone through your own journey. What is it that they struggle with the most, and what would you possibly have said to someone But what would you say to someone who's going through that kind of phase right now, where they're on their own 2 feet, they're having to figure shit out, and they feel lost, whether it's man or a woman?
I mean, I guess I can look back and think, what would I want to tell myself back then? 31 or around that time in your early 30s is a strange age because you feel like you should have made it by now, or be someone by now, or be settled by now in that phase. And if you're not settled by whatever definition you've given yourself, just focus on building yourself. And what I mean that is there are certain things that you have to get done. Have your finances in order. Like I would have focused right there, which I was doing, I guess, is right, work on building a career for myself so that I can just live freely and not distract yourself with the opposite sex, which is what I was also doing. Like I was so lonely, especially when I moved to Dubai, right? So I moved to Dubai at 31 and I came there for a woman actually, which broke down very, very quickly. And then I was all lost all over again. But I was still chasing. I still wanted like someone around me all the time. But I had no money. I had nothing. I still had that pull from both sides. Like I need to build something with myself, but I also want to be loved and desired and have someone next to me. But why would they want to be with me when I can't even pay the rent? I can't even eat, you know? So I look back and think, focus on developing skills that will pay the bills, literally. Skills that pay the bills. Just focus on something so that you can be free. Because especially as a man, when you don't have that freedom to pay what you want and live how you want to live, and you're worried about rent and you're worried about how, and I lived that in that space where I had like £10 in my account. I rinsed out my credit card. I was just trying to survive, and I was struggling because I knew I didn't want to go back to London. I didn't want to get a job. I wanted to build this business. And so I was able to, because of the lack of responsibility of like people dependence, that I could build that part of myself. But it was hard. It was so hard. In hindsight, I should have got a job, developed some stability, banked some cash, focused on the business on the side. But I didn't, you know?
Your journey's your journey for a reason.
Yeah, I had to go through that. Especially being a men's coach, I've been through some dark times. Told you earlier, like drinking myself to sleep just to numb the pain. But during that time, bro, I just needed to focus on myself, stay healthy, grind hard, work hard, build. I mean, if I had really focused in that year 31 to 32, I'm pretty certain I could have done 6 figures per month by now. 100%. But
You regret that?
I don't regret it because the lessons I had to learn were the ones that made me ready for marriage.
Fine. Fair. So
And a better businessman.
So it showed up differently.
Yeah. Every man goes through lessons. Every man goes through trials and hardships, and we have to earn our stripes to becoming a man. We don't have this thing anymore called initiation into manhood. Back in the day, they throw a kid in the jungle, come out with a tiger.
Yeah.
You know, now you've seen the film Spartans and all this kind of stuff. We don't have that anymore. We don't have a physiological thing that happens to us that turns us from boy to man.
Yeah.
In the UK, you can drink at a certain age, or you can smoke, or you can gamble, or you can vote. It means nothing because a boy will always, for the rest of his life, feel like, am I man enough yet? Am I a man yet?
It's true.
Is my dad proud of me yet?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Whereas a woman, when she gets a period, there is a physiological change that changes her from girl to woman. She can bear children. Fine. Mentally, she might not be fully there yet, and emotionally might not fully. But that is the turning point where they can become a woman. Now we don't have that. You know, so always struggling and striving to become this man, especially when it comes to living in the shadow of our fathers.
Once a man knows that he has issues, what's the first real step he should take?
When he has issues.
Yeah.
Like
When you
what?
realize there's a problem, there's a fundamental challenge coming up right now. What's the first step you reckon he should be taking?
Well, if it's an emotional problem, then I think he needs to find a way to let it out, talk about it, write about it. So I definitely feel like the method I would take would be meditation, just to kind of sit inside and feel it, and then journal to write it out. And then to do that consistently for a while. If there are any negative coping mechanisms like alcohol or drugs, try your best to just not do it and replace it with something healthy.
That there though, right? Men, when I say men, people in general will be quite aware in regards to the challenge that's on. They feel lonely. They will know. They'll understand their feelings. And when it comes to that action step, the healthy action step, the positive action step, they don't go and do it.
Yeah.
The easy cop out is to go and do something negative or to do something that's going to harm you. Why does that happen, and how do you stop that? Because I can sing it to the cows come home. Do some fucking journaling, reflect, give yourself some time just to get a pen and paper. And people are looking at me and think, bro, this isn't going to help. What are you talking about? You haven't done it enough, consistently enough to recognize the added benefit of you being able to just say what's sitting up here right now, put it to paper, and get it off your chest for a change.
Yeah, with journaling, I say that give a man a prompt. Because if you just ask him to journal, often we're like, what do we write?
Yeah.
So journal, you know, how am I feeling right now? Leave it. Or it's, what could I have done better today, if it's an evening journal, for example? Or how do I want to live my life today? You do that enough, you start to realize that something isn't adding up or something doesn't feel quite right. Or you just say, yeah, just do a mind dump. Like, you know, this is probably what you recommend as well. Just let it all out. But why do we do the things that aren't healthy for us? I think we do them because there's that hit of there is some kind of dopamine. There's a connection with a feeling that feels good, even if it is met with shame, usually some shame afterwards or some guilt. So my argument to them was like, you've tried all this stuff and you've been doing the same thing that clearly isn't working for you. You owe it to yourself to just try something new for a little bit, and then develop an accountability system around you. That's why our work is important as coaches.
Yeah.
Because it's a case of like, right, journal and send it to me in the morning. You know, just send it to me. We all know our bad habits, but you have to want to change. And if you don't want to change, I don't want to work with you. Right?
Can't say that.
If you want to change and you want something to be different, listen to me. Otherwise, I'm done. And you can continue on your little journey. So if you want it bad enough, you'll do it. If I put a gun to your mum's head and said, you better journal for the next 7 days, I want proof, you will do it. Just your why is not strong enough. You know? So most people aren't doing the things they need to do because the why isn't strong enough. I've seen people that are like, they've been declared that they got cancer and they still don't quit smoking or whatever it might be. Why? They don't care enough. You know, they don't care enough. They haven't got the drive.
Do you feel like they're just scared when it comes to that drive? Because I feel like people do want to make changes, and the saying is you clearly don't want it enough.
Scared of change, because even scared of change means that, okay, what does that mean about me now? I've tied maybe so much of my identity to this thing that I do. Maybe friendships might fall apart, family might see me differently. Like, so many things could happen. One of the biggest things that I think men and women are afraid of is change.
That fear of possible success and what that might look like.
Even success, yeah. What does that mean if I stop drinking? Are my friends still going to want to hang out with me? Am I going to be bored? Will I still enjoy it? You know, I'm not going to be as confident. Oh, so many things. We don't give ourselves the chance.
It's very true. Very true. Going to take another little pivot here, because it's something that I feel is very relevant. And you've mentioned it, how you moved to Dubai and moving abroad right now. I feel like currently, as the economy is in the UK, people are considering where should they go and have that fear and don't know whether or not they can take that step, what life looks like abroad. And you've been doing it for the last 6 years.
Yeah, well, 5 years now.
5 years. Is there more to life than the UK?
150%, yes.
Fine, just fine.
Get out of the UK, I swear to God, get out. Like, you don't need to be here anymore. UK used to be the place where you could come and you could like build your life. Like our parents, my parents came from, my mum was born in Africa, my dad was born in Pakistan, and they came here in the 70s because life was good for them. It was an upgrade. I mean, the British Empire is the British Empire, but God bless them for getting me a British passport. You know, like I was born in this nation. But now this is not the place to be. This is becoming, in my opinion, like a bit of a third world country. You know, the government just wants to just take all of our money, tax us to the nth degree. This quality of service is rubbish. I'm not saying Dubai's got to be the place, but I am so glad that I moved to Dubai. All my money I make is mine, all of it. I've got my own company there. I make all my money. It's so easy to get a residency. It's so easy to set up a company. For £3,000, you can have a 2-year visa and your own company. That's it. And some companies might even let you pay in installments. You know? It's super easy. The quality of life is so good. So good. From how clean it is to just how cheap it is to get your car washed, to you can get deliveries in 5 minutes for your basic groceries. 5 minutes. You don't pay much extra. You might pay like £1 or £2 for delivery. Just something small like that.
The safety element in Dubai as well.
Super safe. I would let my mum go out 3-4 in the morning. Nothing's ever going to happen to you. There's a lot of bad rap that Dubai gets. Yeah,
that's what I wanted to talk to you about, because I feel like the conversation is it's a bougie place, and there are some areas which are bougie. But I've heard such positives in regards to expats and people who are entrepreneurs.
People that live there know the truth.
Yeah,
and it is a wonderful place to live. People can talk about how, it's built on the back of slavery. Those guys, everyone that's there pretty much knows what they're doing. They know why they came. Even the money they make there and send home is doing better than what it is if they were in Pakistan or in India. Yeah. This
Same
country
thing when
built
people
on
come here,
this country built on slavery.
Yeah.
America's built on slavery, literally. There is nothing about this country that is better than anywhere else. This country has stolen so much money. Like what? I think it's in trillions of pounds worth of debt to India if they were to try and claim this stuff back. I'm sorry, I think that people need to have an open mind when it comes to places like Dubai. Yes, it is ruled by like a dictatorship, but it looks after the people. If you make a mistake, you're in prison or you're deported. Now imagine if this country was like that. It'd be a much better place to live. You make a mistake, you took our hospitality, you can go back. I believe in that. Immigration shouldn't be like this, like, okay, here you go, you come into our country and now you give you all the stuff and you can commit all the crimes you want and then we'll still fund your life. No, I'm sorry. You're here as a guest. We'll look after you for as long as you look after us.
You've got to take ownership.
Take ownership. If not, you can bounce. They're strict on drugs, they're strict on all these things. Good. There's no drunk or disorderly in the street. There's no one pissing in the street corner. Everything smells nice, bro. The petrol station toilets in London are like what?
So,
Petrol station toilets in Dubai, you're like you're in heaven. The malls are fantastic. Everything is nice. Yes, you've got like the bougie part, but I'm just an everyday guy living in Dubai. It's cheaper for me to live in Dubai than it is in London.
why is that? How does that work out?
Because there's just everything for everyone. There's something for every demographic. From someone that's making £1,000 a month to someone that's making £100,000 a month. There is something for everyone.
But you also said it's the Peter Pan analogy.
Yeah, you can go there and be Peter Pan, but then you can also do it here and be miserable. Or you can go out there and make something of yourself. So you can still go there and crumble. You can still go there and like completely fuck up your life.
Is it for everyone?
I think it can be. But some people, for example, okay, what's the sacrifice? I don't see my family.
That's what I was gonna get onto.
So there is a cost benefit analysis that everyone has to do whenever they make a decision. I'm out here building something the same way my family left home to build something in London.
Exactly that.
Right? So you got to decide what matters to you. Your parents are going to die. As bad as it is, yeah, they are going to die. And you can't have lived your life just for them and sacrificing yourself, because when you hit 40 or 50 years old and you're trying to build something then, it's not going to work. Grind now. Leave now. Build yourself so if you want to, you can come back whenever you want. I've been back twice in the last 6 weeks, but because I was able to make the money, that gave me the freedom.
I want to just talk about that part in terms of like, not necessarily making money, but building a career for yourself somewhere very different. So when you are conditioned within the UK and you follow the status, well, the normal thing to do, which is school, university, get a grad job, work your way up the corporate ladder or whatever field that you go into, and that just becomes the end of your cycle in regards to where your career can go. There is some sort of route, and I've spoken to someone on here, and this is the reason why like they don't teach about entrepreneurialism in the UK, because they don't want you to go down that route. The government are smart in regards to what they're doing. For you, obviously taking that step to go to Dubai and to build a career, obviously you said you went when you didn't have money and you figured your shit out. How, I'm not trying to say sell me on it, but how easy has it been for you to find comfortability in taking the steps to be able to be where you are right now?
It's not easy. It was so hard. It was so hard because, again, I had all these competing things around me. Like, I'm in a foreign land. I thought I was going to be here with this woman. That didn't work out. So I had that. My comfort was taken already. So I moved to an apartment that she under her name, and now it's gone. So I'm like, cool. I got to figure it out in this world of getting my visa, finding a place to live. It was a lot with no money.
What did you do then?
I had some savings that I had to burn through.
Okay.
It wasn't much, but it was something that got me through. I had some crypto and I had some shares. Sold it all. Unfortunately, I had to sell my Bitcoin. But that money was for a rainy day.
Yeah.
And back then it was raining, like really hard. So I had to do what I had to do. It's not easy. Luckily, I found my passion through my pain the year before, right? When I was in London and I went through all my shit. So I knew that there was a deep desire in me that this is what I want to do in my life. I just didn't know how to do it. But the thing that Dubai was for me was a door opener, because people there want to help. Everyone in Dubai is not from Dubai. 30% of them are locals. The 70% of them are expats. So mostly the ones that are there are also on the same journey as you, trying to become someone, trying to make something of themselves. So they game recognize game, right? They see that, oh, I like what you're doing. Like, oh, I know a guy. Next thing you know, this having that conversation. And before you know it, bro, like I'm quite well known in Dubai. I'm known as the men's coach in Dubai. I'm known as the guy that does masculinity work. There was no one else doing this. Yes, I carved out a niche without even meaning to carve out a niche, but I've been on radio, I've been on TV. This would not happen. Oh, you wouldn't see me on the BBC.
Fair.
You'd have to really, really be making a fuss, you know? Plus, bro, for our colour, Dubai is so welcoming, you know, so welcoming. Our accents, they love it. It's just, people are just friendly. I've met so many nationalities. You know, I think I remember one breakfast I went to, just by chance, I was doing Qigong, yeah, in the park one Sunday morning after when I was depressed and sad because I had no girlfriend. And I'm talking to some girl and she goes, oh, why don't you come and go to this breakfast after this? I said, cool. I went there. So her husband was leading a networking group for about finance. And around the table were 13 different people. Every single person was from a different country. I was like, wow.
This is sick.
I had never met anyone from like Uzbekistan before or like Lebanon. I was like, this is awesome. And I just find that people are friendly.
Fair.
You know, so also, I'm going on a bit now, but you don't know what you don't know.
I was just going to get onto that.
Just get out, just explore, just broaden your mind. Just this place will always be here for you.
This is what I try and tell my clients with whatever scenario it is. The fear of the unknown is what stops you from taking that next step. But would you rather stay in this shitstorm right now? What's more scary? That fear of being stuck in this box that you're in, or the possibility of what's around the corner if you decide to take that next step?
Take risk. I've always been quite risky, but not like big, but like, you know, not thought about it risk. I think about my risk and I take it. I'm like, I can always come back to mum's sofa.
Yeah.
What's the real risk?
Yeah.
Even you, let's talk to you personally, yeah? Like, if you come out,
yeah,
you've got nothing to lose.
I know this. And again, a bit like this kind of whole kind of conversation, there have been imposter-like syndrome moments, flags that have just popped up, and I'm like, can I not? I remember when I went traveling, I was like, I have to come back because I need to get the podcast up and running again. And I'm like, you're an idiot. People are recording everywhere across the world. You don't necessarily need to have a UK audience. What are you talking about? You don't necessarily have to interview people who have like businesses, etc. Like, expand your mind. What is it that people want? What is it that you want?
What do you want?
I know, and that's it. What is it I want? And I know what I want. And I know there are things I want to do. And it's possibly just saying, fuck it, book the ticket and go. Figure it out.
You'll figure it out, man. Like you'll really figure it out. And if you give yourself enough time and say, right, 3 months, this is what I'm going to do. Okay, what might ruin this 3 months for me? Where might I self-sabotage? Great. Okay, here. Great. Let me build a system around this. Let me speak to Adil and make sure that I've got quickly get my apartment sorted. Let me join the Man Cave project so I've got good boys around me. Can I ask him for some introductions to be on other people's podcasts or whatever? I can do all of that, for example.
Yeah.
Find out where you might fuck it up and just quickly build a system.
I think this is the financial implications that come for a lot of people. It's that unsafe now. If you've left the nest, you're out there and you got to figure out, can I make this work? And am I going to just fuck it all up?
Yeah, you might fuck it up and you'll learn.
And this is what I find like really, really empowering. You hear of all of these people, Alex Hormozi as an example, made his money, lost it. Made his money, lost it. And now he's made his money again.
What are you afraid of? Losing what? What you got?
Exactly.
Listen, but talking like you've made your millions. Like we ain't. This is the time when you've got no commitments.
Yeah.
To just take the risk. Let yourself be like, bro. I had no money. I had people take me into their home. I lived on my friend's couch. One guy I met, his name is Ian. He's an English guy as well. He heard what I was doing. After 1 week of knowing me, he said, bro, come live at my house. He put me in his king master bedroom for 4 months, asking for no money, looked after me, his wife, his kid, and his nanny, and looked after me. And I just kept trying to build myself from there. I'll never forget it. He's one of my best friends now in Dubai. People will support you, and the universe will reward you when you take a step forward.
I think that's the thing. You don't know until you know. And Ian, big up Ian.
Big up Ian.
Like, you never would have met Ian in the UK. You never would have got that kind of level of hospitality.
No, because they know what it's like. They know what it's like to grind.
It's actually fucked. Because like when you hear of like Ed Sheeran's story as an example, he slept on Jamie Foxx's sofa or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, you have to just give it a go. And we're so afraid of giving it a go.
That fear of what, man? Like I always knew that I was not destined. Like I told you before, I was not destined to work in an office. I thought that's what I wanted until I was there, and I was like, "Is this it? Is this what I'm doing until I'm 65?" Hell no. I'm meant to be doing something bigger. And when it came to me, I capitalized on it.
That's the thing. It's not for everyone either.
No, if you're a worker bee, you're a worker bee.
Yeah.
But then be the best worker bee.
Yeah.
You know, be the best at it. Like I see guys, you know, in Costa and stuff, or even people working in like shops, and I see how they move. And some guys, they love it and they really make it theirs, and they smile and like, here you go, and make it yours. You know, become the best at your craft. Don't be so bitter and so cold and so miserable. If you're miserable, change something. You have the key to your own destiny. You have the ability to make any choice you want. You know, I really need you to come out now, and
we'll make a commitment.
You need to make this happen. Yeah,
we'll have to do the next podcast we do together. Will be in a Dubai studio.
Yeah, done.
Okay.
What's the date today?
Today is the 28th of August. So we'll fast forward a few months for sure.
All right, fine. But look, for anyone that's thinking of that's afraid, be afraid and do it anyway. Last year, on the 4th of February, my birthday, I spoke at the same event that Stephen Bartlett was speaking at.
Mad.
4 months prior, when I was asked to speak at this event, this is called the Sharjah Entrepreneur Festival. So Sharjah is another emirate. Yeah, Dubai is an emirate, Sharjah is another emirate. It's the biggest kind of like entrepreneurial event in the UAE. And I was asked to speak at this event, and I was shitting myself.
Yeah.
Bro, I almost said no. Because I'd not spoken to that many people before. This was a big audience. Normally I've done like 15 people, 20 people. I've been on podcasts. I've done a few like little things here and there. And I'm nervous before everything I do, but less so over time. But that one I knew that if I say no, I'm going to regret this for the rest of my life. This is one of those moments that will change the course of my time in Dubai and my business and my career. So I said yes. Now, February 4th, it was a Sunday. On the 3rd of February was the first day of the event. And I went that evening for the networking event. That was all the founders, all the speakers, everyone that was part of the thing went to this networking event in the evening. I rock up in my dusty Nissan Sunny, in my outfit, and I was so nervous. This is just a networking event. As much as I'm confident, I don't like networking events anyway, it's just freaking weird for me. But anyway, I was nervous because I felt like I shouldn't be there. I'm an imposter. There's royalty. There's all these locals. My friend who introduced me to come and speak at this event, she's a local. And she's used to it. You know, she's all like around with her abaya, looking all fantastic and talk to everyone. Salam, everyone. And I'm there like, oh my God, I just stood at the table with my coffee.
Yeah.
And people were coming to me and talking to me, having conversation. When I was talking to them, I was fine, but I still felt like I shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Went to the next part of the event, and I was like, told my friend, I was like, listen, I need to go.
Yeah.
She was like, okay, cool, let's go get some food. So she's cool. She doesn't need to be there. She doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
We went home, and bro, I got into bed, and I was like in the fetal position.
Yeah.
And I knew this feeling. This feeling is like before something big happens in my life, there's like a dip, and then there's an evolution. And this was that turning point again, like I mentioned. And I knew I had to go through this, but I just felt like so shit. She said to me, you better get used to this. And I knew what she meant. I know the trajectory of where I'm going, and I know the kind of man that I'm working towards being, and the not fame, but the level of impact I'm about to make. I know where I'm going, and she can see it. And that's why she said, you better get used to this. This is where I belong. So inherently I knew what she meant. Anyway, we ate, she left, and the next day I was so nervous. Right? My talk was at 2. Stephen Bartlett was on before me, you know? My talk was at 2:00, and the whole morning no one could talk to me. I had my boys with me, I had some friends with me, and it's my birthday. I couldn't enjoy it, but my stomach was going. I couldn't eat anything, like I was a mess. But the second I got on stage, it was the best speech I ever did in my entire life.
You were flying.
People were walking past and stopping and sitting down, you know?
Jeez.
And from that day forward, I became less afraid of speaking in front of audiences that big.
Yeah.
Now, bro, give me a mic. I'll make it work. Like, I'm good to go.
Just freestyle it. Do what you gotta do.
I had my slideshow. We just had pictures and a word. One picture, one word.
Yeah.
And that was just the flow because I was telling my story. Anyway, I was comfortable anyway. But I know deep in my heart and soul that I'm doing what I should be doing. So when I talk to people, bro, I pitched in front of a billionaire 2 months ago. A billionaire about my business. and I spoke to him like he was just me. Because it doesn't matter.
It's the same conversation, just a different table. That's it.
But that level of confidence comes from doing the hard things.
Yeah.
So you want to become more confident. You want to develop your self-esteem. You want to be able to be more resourceful. You've got to go do the things that scare you.
I hear that. Adil, man, this has been sick. This has been a I'm very, very thankful in regards to the initial part of this conversation and how we've transitioned it into talking about men, relationships, and this part about Dubai. And it's very, very inspirational. So I feel like it's definitely going to hit home for a lot of people. For people who do want to get in touch and reach out to you, where's the best place for them contacting you?
I would say please use my Instagram, Adil Coaches Men.
Yeah.
Obviously, I coach women too, but that's the handle I've got. And if you want to learn more about the Man Cave, then Man Cave Project Official is my Instagram. And I'm the one responsible for it. So if you DM anything or message me, it's me that will respond.
Perfect.
Thank you, man.
No, honestly. Your missus said that it would be a great episode, and yeah, I've been mesmerized this whole way. So, big love. Thank you.
Good chat, man. Thank you.
Thank you lot for listening to another episode of the Unfiltered podcast. If you've liked what you listened today, drop us a like. If you've got any comments in regards to what we spoke about, if there's something you disagreed with, or there's stuff that you did agree with, drop us a comment. And lastly, if you haven't subscribed yet, give us a subscribe. Whether you listen to this on Spotify, Apple, or if you're watching this on YouTube, every subscribe goes a long way. And look, why wouldn't you subscribe? If you like the unfiltered nature of the podcast, surely you want to be in tune to whenever the next episode is coming out, right? Anywho, I'll catch you on the next episode of the Unfiltered podcast. It's been your boy Pri, and I'm signing out. Peace.